They call them fun boys. They'll say we gotta have some fun boys in the section for Busta. Bro, Busta Rhymes wanted him in his section so bad. Like, what? Pulled him to the section, like through the rope.
So when I walk across the street to the crowd, I'm walking through the crowd and somebody grabs my hand. Just softly put their hand in my hand and just holding it. So I look, and I see this big chain that said flip mode. Just diamonds iced out. I look at the chain and I know what flip mode is, so I look up. Now all this happening in split seconds. I look up and it's Busta Rhymes.
If Busta ever try to film me, hit you with no delay, so what you saying, yo? Silly with that 9 milli, what the deal, yo? Yeah, I can hit better than him. He better not play with me. I will and perform Busta Rhymes show.
Yes, Busta Rhymes is being called a super zest monster, and those are his bodyguard's words.
If you notice, like, there's countless videos of Busta Rhymes getting mad at females for just being girls. Why are you getting mad at females? You go to these guys, they're in the club, go to their section. It's all men in the section.
Busta Rhymes is apparently going viral after a former bodyguard leaked information, saying he asked for some very strange things from young men in his VIP club section. But that's just the tip of the iceberg. See, Orlando Brown says that Busta is one of many DL, down low, rappers who turned him down, and now 50 Cent is also weighing in with not-so-subtle hints about Busta's secret life. Plus, several men are telling their stories of Busta making inappropriate advances and trying to get them to party with him. But let's be honest for a moment, this isn't just about their orientation. It's about these DL men in the industry acting tough in public while touching people because they're too scared to be themselves. Come from a very homosexual era
of hip-hop as well. There was a radio personality once upon a time. Her name was Wendy Williams. And she was practically burned at the stake for talking about such. And now it's all come full circle. There were many situations, none of which to talk about, but there were many situations back in the day in my career. And it's all coming full circle now.
Phobia in the rap community. He said that because of what he represents culturally, he doesn't condone homosexuality whatsoever. When asked if the hip-hop culture would ever accept a gay rapper, Busta got up and left the interview. Fast forward to now, and it turns out that Busta Rhymes might be yet another rapper hiding his true identity while taking out his frustrations on others. But let's be clear, this isn't just about Busta allegedly being in demand because, at the end of the day, that's his business. The real shame is him allegedly being into men while also being self-hating and putting his hands on women and male ex-workers he allegedly hires. You know, it's the hypocrisy for me. But let's rewind a bit back to the early 2000s when these whispers about Busta's preferences first started making headlines. And you know who was the brave soul spilling this hot tea? None other than Wendy Williams. So, what exactly did Wendy reveal about Busta's secret lifestyle? Wendy called out the homo thugs in the business.
She put out those pictures of the dude pulling his pants down, and it looked like some gay act that was going on. He got on the phone. He said, let me tell you this. When I get back to New York City, if she's on the radio station, he's talking to a radio executive. He said the same thing to he said, nobody that I deal with, nobody that I know is going to do anything with y'all. No business at all. It ain't going to be no artist, no nothing going to come. He's telling people that at a radio station. When we got back to New York City, Wendy Williams was in Philly at a new station. Wow. That's the power he had.
So, the word on the street is that, back in the day, Wendy Williams had a list of rappers who were not to be talked about. She would have people call into her show and tell all the scandalous things they had done with these rappers. Can you guess who was included on that list? Busta Rhymes. A man reportedly called Wendy's show and said that Busta punched him in the face right after he got down on his knees for Busta. The caller also said that Busta told him not to talk about their encounter, which supposedly happened at a club in New York City, where rappers would go to have these kinds of encounters with gay men. Even though Busta allegedly did a lot of work to get the recording taken down from the internet, Wendy's OG fans remember this episode very well. Now, let's not forget that Wendy was also one of the first to publicly discuss Diddy's rumored lifestyle, and she even had receipts to back it up. However, when Diddy heard Wendy had a photo of him with another man, He reportedly got Wendy fired from Hot 97 and practically chased her out of New York, forcing her to find work in Philadelphia.
Wendy Williams, the first woman to uncover the homo thugs. That's what these down low bitches was called when Wendy first started talking about it in the 90s, the homo thug. She talking about Diddy.
And then what's the stuff that's happening to Wendy Williams? You think this is all connection too?
Of course. They've been waiting. He's been waiting. He was waiting for Kim. Remember? He was waiting. The casket was ready. She was literally casket.
By the way, Jaguar also recently pointed out that Wendy Williams was the first one to call out Diddy and his fellow homo thugs in the business.
This is the father of the joint venture deals, the label deals, that's right, the production deals. That's right. This is the father. I'm gonna keep it a buck. I'm gonna big up Dallas Austin because he pulled this all up. But when he did it, it was the complete shifting of the climate. We ain't never seen it before. The same way, there's been a lot of greatness after. Like added to the floors of the skyscraper, he designed the foundation of that skyscraper to stand
Busta Rhymes and Diddy became such good friends that rumor has it they shared young men. Since Diddy is being investigated by the federal government, Busta has distanced himself from him, but it's a known fact that they were close for years, all the way back to the 1990s. Here's a very happy-looking Busta hanging out with Diddy, J-Lo, Aya, Hype Williams, and a bunch of other famous people in the music business. Here's Busta with Diddy and his old best friend, Jay-Z. And here's a picture of Diddy looking like he wants to eat Busta. Let's not forget that Busta was hanging out with Diddy and praising him just a few weeks before Cassie filed her shocking lawsuit.
Talking about Busta Rhymes before.
Oh, yeah.
In some of your videos.
Oh, yeah. Super zest monster. For sure, bro. That's my thing, bro. Like, this has been common knowledge, though. Like, all my promoter homies would always say, man, you know, we got to bring some, we got to bring some, what they call them, I'm not going to say it over there. They call them fun boys. They say we got to have some fun boys in the section for Busta. Because, you know, I bodyguarded for Ghostface Killer before. You feel me? And being around him, you hear things. You feel me? I'm like, damn. And my auntie like the biggest Busta Rhymes fan. You feel me? Like every cookout she playing it. All his little fast rapping, all of that, him and Craig Mack.
Now, going back to what Jaguar Wright said about Wendy Williams exposing homo thugs, the reason she called them this is that they weren't just gay and on the DL, but they allegedly used intimidation tactics and physical violence against anyone who dared to speak on their secret lifestyle. Not only that, but both Diddy and Busta Rhymes have a long track record of getting physical with both women and men and taking out their anger on those they know won't hit them back.
On my soul, I'm out with a group of people. At this time, I was with Don Benjamin. You familiar with him?
No, I never heard of him.
Model dude, like a model guy. He was doing like some rapping and stuff. His name Don Benjamin. I'm out with Don Benjamin. And the club we ended up going to, Busta Rhymes in there. So it was a little lawyer guy that was with us. And the little lawyer guy we was with, you know, he was a gay dude, super cool, feel me, good guy. Bro, Busta Rhymes wanted him in his section so bad. Like, what? Pulled him to the section, like through the rope, and tucked him off in the corner. So I'm looking like, well, he ain't come with us. Well, I know he was in the little group. So if I go out with somebody, like a group of people, I try to make sure everybody get there together and leave together. No, he stayed with them. He stayed in there with them, bro. For sure, bro. You ain't never heard about this before, have you? Bro, this is common knowledge, bro. Like, if you in the mix, bro. If you in the mix.
Another thing Busta and Diddy allegedly have in common is their taste for much younger men. In fact, according to Busta's former bodyguard, Big Homie CC, Busta would regularly send his entourage to find young, hot guys and bring them to his VIP section in the club. Big Homie DC recently set the internet ablaze with his appearance on The Art of Dialogue when he boldly called Busta a super zest monster and dished on all the juicy details of what Busta was allegedly up to with young men back in the day.
I hear somebody say oh, he's cute. I want him. So when I heard that, I turned around like, man, did he just say that? You got all this jewelry to attract some men in here? You wild. Shocked me. But sure enough.
And that was the guy that Busta Rhymes pulled back?
He pulled him into the section. Pulled him into the section. Then they walled him off like this man. I'm like, damn. And that little dude was so happy. He couldn't believe that. He was
Big
shocked.
Homie also remembers Busta telling him that this man was adorable and Busta wouldn't leave his party.
I knew about this like in 2012. I knew about this in 2012.
How come you think nobody else speaks up on it or says anything?
Because, bro, these people admire these people so much. They want to make sure they in the section, they at the club, they at the video shoot, they can get backstage. That matters most to them. That matters so much to people. It's crazy. Like, but if you notice, like, there's countless videos of Busta Rhymes getting mad at females for just being girls. This girl touched him one time, he go crazy, throw a drink on her and everything. See what I'm saying? Like, what? Why you getting mad at females? You go to these guys, they in the club, go to their section. It's all men in the section. That ain't weird to nobody. I'm going to the bar, sorry. Text me if it get dangerous. But there's all this club security in here, like, nothing's finna happen. Nobody wanna kill you guys, bro. Like, when I get jobs from people who really got a threat on their life, I move way different. But man, you ask, bro, anybody that's in the mix, bro, like, you know, bro, most of these dudes, bro, putting on a major act. They don't want to be themselves.
It's crazy.
They'll get mad at you for buying bottles of champagne to give the girls. They'll get mad, oh, we don't want these bottle rats in our section. What are we here for? Why are y'all here then? What are y'all here for? Just because y'all got booked to be here, okay, but sometimes they not booked. They just in there. And what they looking for, it ain't gonna be what you thinking of, on God.
Shocked, Homie claims to have known what Busta is all about for more than 10 years. When questioned why no other members of the business have spoken their views, Big Homie replied that it's because they want to be in the VIP area with Busta.
I'm walking, New York City, going to a club. It was Halloween weekend, everybody was out. And it was this party we was going to, me, my boy, and his friend that had came in from Detroit. And I'm walking across the street and Busta Rhymes just grabbed my hand. And he holding my hand. Now, I ain't know it was Busta at first. Busta Rhymes tall. I'm sure I came up to about right here. So the first thing I noticed was this big ass flip mode chain that was blinding me. So I look at the chain and I look up, I'm like, oh, what's up, Busta? What's up? Now he holds my hand the whole time. I'm like, what's up, man? He like, what you doing? And I was like, oh, me and my people, we about to go to this club around the corner. What's up, man? And then I noticed throughout my peripheral vision, the side eye, this big bodyguard in black. Just standing there, looking around, looked at me, still looking around. Meanwhile, Busta still got my hand.
However, it turns out that several guys have come up with their own juicy stories of close experiences with Busta Rhymes. Back in 2020, social media user Trip shared some serious information on his YouTube channel, saying that Busta tried to pick him up in New York City while he was traveling to a club for a Halloween party.
He says, I'm about to go in this club. We got a section. You can come in with me if you want. And I'm like, word, for real? Like, that's what's up. Like, he was like, yeah. I was like, well, I got to, tell my people. I was like, I come in. You know what I'm saying? He was like, okay, just let me know, tell them that you coming in there to meet with me and come on up. And I was like, bet. So, of course, I'm excited. You know what I'm saying? Busta Rhymes is one of my favorite artists.
Bernie L claimed that when Busta offered him to visit his VIP area at a club, Trip became thrilled, thinking it would be a typical celebration.
There's a lot of things that will make you buckle, bro. They make you buckle, bro. And people done lost their families, bro. People done lost their kids, and a lot of stuff that happened.
The record labels are taking life insurance policies out on rappers. Mainly because it's more dangerous for rappers nowadays.
This is a touchy subject. I just, I'll give you this. You can willingly turn woman and have a bag, or you can do what I'm doing. You can willingly turn trans, or you can get in trouble and go to jail and get up, and they do it to you forcefully because you're up and you didn't know what to do with your blessing.
But then Tripp got into a fight with his friend, who didn't want to go to Busta's party, and the fight turned physical. Tripp was so shaken by the fight that he didn't want to go to any clubs anymore, and his friend left him stuck in the middle of New York City.
Big things that made its rounds all over the internet, went completely viral, was some things you had to say about Diddy.
Oh, yeah.
And there was also, shortly after that, there was an old video that was kind of going viral. And it was 50 Cent, and where he says he was at a party with Diddy. And he was mad at Diddy because Diddy offered to take him shopping. And he felt like that was only something like you would do for a female.
When the shocking headlines about Diddy's alleged crimes broke back in November, Capone wasted no time in asking Orlando back for another chat on their channel.
We made love.
Who you made love with?
Diddy, Bow Wow, Busta Rhymes.
You just told me you seen Busta in the airport too. That motherfucker tried to act like he didn't know you. You smashed Drake?
No, I never smashed.
Oh, you made love to Drake.
What's that name? Terrence Howard.
Terrence Howard.
Terrence Howard. Usher. Usher's a gusher. And
why you not having no hoes?
I'm telling you, bro. It's my dad's friends. My dad sicked his baddest friends on me.
Who's your dad?
Lucifer.
Some contend that Orlando's mental health issues do not refute his claims, suggesting that his difficulties may be related to traumatic experiences in the industry and that his outspokenness may be a coping strategy or a way of seeking justice.